Boy, this episode is on George LeGree, aka North Park Village, aka Port City Projects, modern day Horizon Village. Whatever generation you in, that's what you call it. The old George LeGree homes was built during World War II in the 1940s. The sole purpose of building George LeGree was because it had a very strategic location. PCP sat a half a mile away from the shipyard where the white workers would go to send ammo and guns to Germany and overseas for World War II. A half a mile from Park Circle, a half a mile from the train station, and 1.5 miles from the height where you would go to watch movies and go to school, etc., etc. After World War II was over, the government basically turned George LeGree to a low-income housing projects for the blacks in 1950. By the 1970s, the Vietnam War had gotten so bad that the government would force blacks to join the war or do a mandatory 5-year prison sentence. They would put the blacks on the front line to be slaughtered. The Vietnamese would use the thick forest and the intense heat to their advantage. In some cases, black soldiers would get lost in the battle and go weeks without food and clean water, causing brain damage. Opioid plants grew in abundance in Vietnam, and this was the perfect time for the CIA to smuggle tons and tons of heroin into the Charleston ports. After the Vietnam War in 1975, many black soldiers would go back to the George LeGree homes suffering from heroin addiction, PTSD, and mental illness.
The United States ain't doing nothing for us, man. We busted our ass. We went over there to an army to kill, and 99% of us got killed, and we didn't get nothing for it. They give us a piece of paper that says to us we're a Vietnam veteran, and we can get disability.
By the mid-1980s, the soldiers would begin to have multiple children by multiple women. The trauma from Vietnam would cause the men to beat their wives and girlfriends, get into major street brawls, and homicides would begin to take place. By the 90s, the crack era would be in full effect, and the now North Park Village would become the most dangerous housing projects in America. Nobody was coming to fix the plumbing or the leaks from the roof. Many abandoned apartments became hangout spots, and just like New York, for 24 hours, every day and every night, fights, sex, and drama would go on inside the massive apartment complex. Thousands, a 17-year-old teenager by the name of Tony B would be walking from school with multiple friends playing and joking around. There was a shortcut through the back of the projects where a huge drain ran from one piece of land to the other piece of land. It was about 2 stories in the air with thick, wet mud underneath it. Tony B and a few friends would try to cross it like they did many times before. Tony B would slip and fall into the muddy water and drown. 2 years later, PCB would be torn down and gentrified into what is now known as Horizon Village. What's up, y'all, boy? This your boy Marlo, and I about to give y'all boy a little 2 minutes on my take on the George LeGree neighborhood. Now, back in the day, they basically only made it because the white people who been working on the ships to send guns and ammo and all that to Germany and England and all that for World War II. You see what I'm saying? But that's the thing. Once the war was over, they let blacks move in and they kind of like stopped keeping up with the neighborhood. You see what I'm saying? And by the time the Vietnam War came, the black families and shit who've been living around there like in the 80s and the late 70s would be struck hard by the heroin and crack epidemic. You see what I'm saying? Like, those soldiers coming home straight from Vietnam been straight savages. Like, a lot of older people gonna tell you why I'm saying is actually true. You see what I'm saying? They probably ain't never thought about it until they heard me, but A person who about 60 years old will tell you like, yeah, but my brother get drafted in the war, so and so, and yeah, you see what I'm saying? But long story short, move on to the 90s, is all out black on black crime. You see what I'm saying? Females tricking, dope selling, weed smoking. Yeah, the police ain't even that used to come back there because it been like a one way in, one way out type situation. You see what I'm saying? The big projects. And when you think about North Park Village, you gotta kind of sort of think about the East Side projects, because North Park Village been the first projects in North Charleston. You see what I'm saying? So it was real ratchet. You feel me? But by the 2000s, they had the gentrified, and basically gentrification. The government want all that land back. You see why I'm saying? They want to make it look pretty because there's a river right behind it. Yeah, that's riverfront property right there. But yeah, in 10 more years, not 10 more, about 20 years, 30 years, the whole Charleston about to look like this, right, y'all? But this your boy Marlo. R.I.P. that boy Tony B. I out.